All right. All right. We are absolutely plowing through some low bars. Waiting to see if it goes through. Forgive me if there is if there is an echo for a second. But I'm expecting we're gonna have some issues because it's saying I got a 1 bar connection right now. So hopefully it doesn't just sound terrible and disgusting. Outside of that, let's talk. Let's just have some fun here for the next half hour or so. Talking Xfinity DFS for Talladega. Very easy type of week. Very a very relaxed state of mind. Whether your main decision is if you just play light or do you play a lot. Outside of that, it's we're here for a good time. All right, not a long time today. Like I said, 30 minutes here. Appreciate the three of you guys being here. I know it's a Saturday morning. You know, got a lot going on. You're probably watching the F1 sprint. Um, I'll check the end of that out when I finish this and get the F1 stuff done. Try and do a video. I'm not sure if I'm going to do a video this week, just because I got a ton going on. But I will get the projections done pretty much following the F1 sprint, probably in between the final round of qualifying for the Cup Series. That's what I'm assuming. Thank you, Matthew. I appreciate it. I love that you're here. I'm glad that you like the content. I do appreciate that. I'm glad that you're showing up, and we got 10 guys here. We got 10 people here just chilling on a Saturday morning talking about Xfinity DFS. What's going on, Eagles? Happy to have you here. Real quick, clearly, if you guys watched the video that I posted on Thursday or something, I think that's a good state of mind of where I've been at this whole week of just doing my method, understanding that look, if this race goes green, tomorrow's race goes green, we're gonna lose money. If not, um, hopefully we'll be fine. I got 20 lines for Xfinity this week. 20 in the 10, 20 in the 3, 20 in the 1. I got 20 in the mini max. Probably won't do anything else. I think it's like 380, somewhere around there. Um, so we're just hoping for some big old wreck-a-roonies. Where is this? 290. My bad. We got 290 in today, which is actually cheaper than I thought it'd be. I thought I would actually end up doing more single entry stuff for this weekend. I'm just glad, or I decided to not do that. Um, let's see. Hey, man, now the comments are flowing. What's going on, Jordan? Happy to have you joining in. Um, let's see. You know what, Sterling? This I'm a 50% ratio is pretty good. If we can get that higher, that'd be great. But 50% of the people in here liking these videos, I like that. Like I said, we're here to just chit chat and have an easy time. If you do like, or if you want the guys that I'm the heaviest on Curry, heaviest on Golding. Not really concerned about the car. Uh, I like that Gaze and Lee are gonna run back the entire time. Now, when you look at Daytona and you look at where the wreck happened at the end of the race, they were fucking wrecking for last, and so Gase and Lee was involved in that. That's where I want those guys to be. Just hoping that our guys in the back don't wreck. That's how it is. If you're chasing the optimal lineup, well, then Gregson has a good chance. Snyder, I'd say Chandler Smith has around 30%. I think Age Allmendinger has a good chance to be an optimal. Said it before, said it again. It's usually the colleague car that starts in the teens is going to be up there because we're going to have colleague trying to run the train again up front. We're going to have Junior Motorsports up front. Junior Motorsports qualified poorly. And so, if anything, I wish the contests were a little bigger for Xfinity because there's going to be a ton of leverage already. This is one of the races to where I think we're going to have a ton of ownership on people like Justin Allgaier, people like Barry, Riley Herbst, Gregson, A.J. Allmendinger, um, you know, Clement, Snyder, Smith. I think a lot of people are going to build lineups with them. And if anything, I think I'm probably, like I said, I usually play too aggressive here with the guys in the back. Um, but there's a chance that you don't have to get too crazy because I think ownership is going to really center on the junior motorsports cars starting in the teens. It's going to certainly center around Gregson and Herbst, and then the good cars in the back. Uh, I think I'm highest on Ellis. What do I have Ellis at? What did I put my and I don't offer this on the Patreon. I just do it whenever I have weeks or days that I just have time for it. I did put my exposures in Discord, so you can only see where I'm at. I did that for Martinsville this month as well, just because some weeks or some weekends I get stuff done pretty quick. Yeah, I got 60% Ryan Ellis today. He's my highest owned driver. I'm fine with that. Honestly, Ellis, just give me 30 seconds. I'll be fine. I'm not going to cry. Let's see. Yeah, Cup is. I mean, Xfinity is just the Xfinity. It doesn't matter. Xfinity Truck Cup Series. I enter the same way. I'm very aggressive. I very much play ownership. I very much just root for Rex and do that. Yeah, I don't. You know it. I know it. I entered the week saying that in the video. Come on. I don't know what Richard came out. I don't know where he. I don't know where he grew a heart randomly. Just like, all right, Jeffrey, it's your time to shine. The three, here you go. Fuck it, Larry. You want to come on the pit box as well? Let's go. You want to talk about Larry not doing a darn thing? Larry, I mean, the car was set up at RCR. Larry's just there for nostalgia and stuff. And look, that's why I said in the video on Thursday before we even got to this point, Earnhardt is either going to win the race or get wrecked. There's no way in hell Jeffrey Earnhardt finishes second or third today, man. You got it there. So you got Jeffrey Earnhardt, you got the Larry Mack, nostalgia play. You got Earnhardt coming out as super religious randomly, just thanking God, talking, saying that his grandpa's is his idol. He can feel his grandpa helping him in the Q lap. Like, Jeffrey, get out of here, my guy. I swear to Christ, if Earnhardt isn't in a wreck today, I'm going to be very disappointed. Yeah, man, you were oddly enough. I made a joke about this in the Discord earlier. But I mean, there's no way in hell I'm playing either of those guys. But and I don't talk trash a lot, but man, there's people out there that have Austin Hill as a cash play today. I think that's absolutely crazy. I think that's absolutely nuts. But yeah, NASCAR is just rigging races again, man. That's how it is. Whether it's NASCAR, whatever forces are acting on these races, man. Plate races is just, you think he's gonna get the pole, he's gonna get the pole. You know, Danica, William Byron in the 24, or Elliott in 24. I mean, the 500 poles. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. I knew it coming in this week. I was like, oh my god, three's gonna get the pole, and then the plan is to have the three lead in the RCR gang. It just, oh boy. Uh, what the heck? What do you mean Hamlin is taking the over for David Stark today? I assume you mean Star. I got a shitload of David Starr. I got. Let's see. Is there anybody that I have under 30% starting in the 30s? That's a no. I got everybody. I got the back half. I got the last 10 positions all over 40% for me. That's just where I'm at today. And then clearly, playing some lines and stuff that have guys up front. In terms of outside of that, like, I got AJ lines, I got AJ Allmendinger lines, this talking more about lines that are actually like legit chasing guys I think are going to run up front. Um, like there's if everything went correctly, there's no wrecks or anything. I certainly believe it's like I said, I think it's AJ, I think it's Noah Gragson, probably Josh Berry, most likely Jeremy Clements. Those would be the four I would look at to be an optimal if the race goes green. And that's just how it is. I do have a line built for that with those four and then two other guys. But like I said, I build for complete wreckfest. That's just me. Outside of that, we got any good questions out there? Got any good topics to talk about to pass time? Like I'll be live for probably 20-ish minutes. Let's see. Yeah, I'm like, bro, what are we doing, guys? Like, I'm dead. I mean, I called it. I absolutely called it on Thursday. It just now it's like, oh, don't stack the back. You gotta chase the optimal line. Like, I already did the rant. I'm not doing it again. Um, that is crazy, man. Who do I got winning? Dead serious, man. If I was betting money to win, I'd put on 3. Which is why I would not put any money because I mean it's absolutely redonkulous. Like if you can, I would bet for sure Jeff Earnhardt to win a stage. I think that's a great. I think that's great. But God, who wants to be known as the guy who absolutely cucks the field and turns the 3? Like, you know, oh man, it's bad. I have not seen. I'm upstairs right now. I don't have a TV. I know they're qualifying right now. Um, I haven't seen any of the Cup cars yet. Um, I mean, it's qualifying anyway. It's gonna take. It just takes forever. I don't know why they do these second round stuff. I got even as soon as Xfinity qualified yesterday. Like we got the back half of the field. I think we qualified the first 30 cars or something. I just stopped watching because I was like, well, I'm not playing the guy starting in the top 10. Doesn't matter for me, and I already know who's going home. So I didn't even watch the end of Xfinity qualifying because it doesn't apply to me this week. Yeah, right. I'm telling you. So we got if you're chasing narratives, Greg Alding put out a pretty long Twitter video. Just being like, look, man, my career's been up and down. It's been a rough time. It's days like this that make you thankful for everything we got going on for us. Thank you so and so for sticking with us and blah blah blah. We missed the opening at Daytona with this car. We qualified. I was 33rd fastest. That was the hardest 45 minutes of my life. Blah blah blah. Thank you God. So we got that. We got can you break out your magic 8 ball and know let me see. Let me look. This is my how much Riley Herbst do I own today? I got even more. Let's see. I got Riley Herbst in 10% of my line. So I think I would lean towards 10% of him getting better than that. There's that. Yeah. So, like I said, that's a good question. Um, this week, sometimes I do like I don't even know if they still have the 121 Xfinity, but I used to do that um, for Xfinity Series races. I think for single entry, mm, it would be up to you if you choose to chase Chandler Smith, Snyder, Clements. But for single entry, I would stack the Joey Gase racing. I really like Gase and Lee today. I think Yaley is going to be a really really good play. I think he's going to be under owned. So those would probably be the 3 I would prioritize in single entry today. And then for your last 3 guys, you can choose if you want to go Gregson, AJ, if you want to chase the guys in the teens, or if you want to be more conservative and play Clements and Snyder. But I think the way to get different in single entry today is to not play Clements and Snyder because they should be the highest owned in single entry. But maybe you do that and then you play, Gase and Lean, and you're good enough to where you have um, a line that's not played a lot. It depends on how. Well, let's see. High dollar, low 200. What is the contest? Because who knows? Hey, maybe I'll get a pay out of this one here if it's still up. I doubt it is. These things do fill up pretty quick. You said 200 plus. Are you talking about the? I'm assuming it's already filled. But like, see, like if I was doing the 180 today, which look side note, didn't do it last week. Very tempted to do it this week. I'm telling myself, don't do it. It's not worth it. Just not to chase it. But I'm very, very tempted to do the King of the Speedway qualifier for the Cup Series, Fantasy Racing Champion, whatever the thing is called. Sorry, I know I'm getting off on a tangent here. Where are we at? Because that 240 is not. It doesn't change my life right now. I'm finally getting up to where I can lose that and not absolutely ruin my day. And this would probably be the race that I'd want to do it for. 10 places left. I'm considering doing that one tomorrow. I'm not sure I will. Don't think I will. I think I'd rather just do 20 lines and have more fun for Cup and not be just pissed off when my single entry line doesn't work. But I really am, man. We did great at Martinsville. I finished in the top 5 for several NBA contests this week. I think on Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. Patreon's doing well. Ad revenue's doing well. I'm really, really tempted to do that 240 tomorrow. And I don't need the encouragement, Jordan. I really don't need it, man. Everybody knows who I'm playing in that one. And the main, like if it was the spring Daytona or if it was the summer Daytona race, I would totally play it because I would just have everybody from 28th on back. But I am very concerned about the race tomorrow going green. That's my only concern. And Jordan's gonna beat me 10 times out of 10. Not gonna do a 1v1 there. But man, I am very tempted about that. Anyway, going back to your single entry today. Snyder and Clements are the two guys I'd try and get off of for single entry today. But yeah, outside of that, I forgot if these contests today. Let me look. It's really odd, man. Like it was really nice having qualifying, having a day for qualifying here because handling these lines take it very time consuming, more so than I'd like to admit. But like the $3 for Xfinity isn't filled. The mini Mac isn't filled. $10 is just over halfway. I'm very, very shocked that these contests are not filled. Then again, it's 10 o'clock and I've been up since 6 o'clock today, and I don't sleep at midnight. So I'm probably the outlier in getting everything done before today was here or before the morning was really here. So I assume Kyle Sieg is chalk. When I did my first run of 16 lines, Jordan, I ended up with 31% Kyle Sieg. He was my lowest owned of the back half of the field. I like Kyle Sieg in a race that goes green. So the lineups that I made with Kyle Sieg today are mainly lines that I think goes green because I think Sieg's best case, Kyle Sieg's best case is to follow. I think Snyder's going to run up front today. Clements is going to run up front. He was running when he got involved in that early wreck at Daytona, and he typically runs in the top half of the field. Same thing with Snyder. Snyder does not like to ride. When you look at Ryan Sieg is normally up there as well. And so I think that RSS is going to encourage Kyle maybe to lie back at the start just because he hasn't had full pack experience yet. But I think they realize that they don't want to be with the back markers, they have a car that's going to be faster than them. I think it was Kyle, him qualifying, him taking the him starting 37th was just due to owner points, and I don't think it's because that car is slow. That's probably the best. That's very easily on par with Snyder and Clements there. Um, like I said, I'm just clinically insane when it comes to plate races. So if it was single entry, I wouldn't play Clements Gase. I don't think I'd play Ellis either. I'd probably do Gase Star, uh, Galding, Lee, Curry, JJ, Mills, Williams, and Massey. That would be my pool for single entry, and I'd probably play Massey just because nobody would play him. But I don't think I don't think 150, the 180 is big enough to get that stupid. So that's why I'm not there. Okay. You're just trying to trigger poor Jordan with David Starr. Um, the best and Matthew, at least in my opinion, the best way to go about these races is just block the name, man. Don't even once you start like see Matthew, you're setting yourself up to be tilted at some point today, more so than trying to get Jordan tilted. Because anytime David Starr does anything, you're going to be either oh I told you David Starr would do this or David Starr doesn't do this. So um, let's see, that's where we're at. Yeah, God, I'm really I can't I'm not gonna do that 240. I just can't do it tomorrow. This is already an expensive weekend. I don't need to throw 240 on one line. Let's see. I appreciate you guys being here. 47 of you guys here Saturday morning, very early, while you have Cup Series qualifying going on. I gotta say thank you for that, especially for Talladega. I mean, we're just here shooting the breeze. We're not really saying anything. Um, So I do appreciate you guys being here. Probably going to be live for another 10 minutes or so. Then I'll let you guys continue on with your day and start making your super speedway lines. I that is true. That is very true. And I've done that before too. I've done. I'll have it to where the opening races on the weekend, the truck race or whatever, I do well, and that'll just cover my entry fee for Cup. So I will say that if we do all right, I can easily do that. I would totally do that, especially because the first is right around the corner next week. That's when Patreon pays out. So, and actually, due to the Richmond week, I already got rent paid all the way up till I think August or September, maybe even October, somewhere around there. So I got a pretty big buffer to be stupid. um, I mean, this could be argued. It depends on what you do. I I know Roto Grinders has a list, but I'm not sure what the like. I'm not sure if you have to log in on Roto Grinders, like, and it just tracks people who have Roto Grinders accounts, like free accounts or whatever the case is. If you link it there, if they pull straight from the CSV files of every contest, not exactly sure. Um, and I don't think there's necessarily one like I'm sure. I mean, excuse me. I'm assuming it's like golf and stuff. Same thing with poker, to where you could chronologically rank the players, um, but I don't think there's that much of a difference in terms of like number one to 100. It's probably more on like if you're ranking it by winnings, then yeah, you'll have it. Then like what do you rank it on in terms of what the payouts are or average finishes in contest, how often you cashed, a lot of different things can kind of skew it a certain way. Like, you know, Osimo. You could technically argue he's the best DFS player ever, but he throws tens of thousands of dollars at it each and every day. So by volume, he'll be ranked number one. Whereas if you're looking at consistency, I'm not sure where like you'll have Chipotle Addict in there. You'll have everybody like kind of thrown in. So it really depends on what you're ranking it with. Um, I just like being here and talking with stuff. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I'm really concerned that I have too much of the guys. I'm not going to change it because I have lines that are aggressive enough. But what did I end up with? Snyder, Clements, and Ellis is fine. I'll eat the chalk with Ellis. That's fine. I don't think he's going to be. I think we'll have Snyder and Clements be higher owned than Ellis anyway. So I'll eat the chalk with him. What do I have Snyder at? I ended up with 45% Myatt Snyder. I got 50% Jeremy Clements. Um, I think you're fine. Um, I think Eagles, you're fine coming in around there because you're gonna naturally, if you play anything like me, you're gonna naturally I got 40% JJ Yaley, man. Nobody's playing 40% JJ Yaley. So even if I'm chasing the chalk, or even if I come in with the field on chalk, the lines are not going to be duplicated. Or if you have a really chalky line, play Mason Massey. I have no Joe Graff Jr. I have no Caesar today. Didn't want to get that crazy. But Mason Massey for me seems like the guy that if you have a real chalk line, throw Mason Massey in there, you'll be fine. I hope Jordan is still here so he can see this. But thank you. Yep. Welcome to the big brain. I was gonna pronounce the first one. Was afraid I'd mess that up. Was gonna pronounce the second one. Was afraid I messed that one up. But I very much agree with you. Today is a really excuse me. Today is a really fun day for this type of stuff. I love plate races to begin with, but I especially love opening weekend at Daytona, and I love the first weekend at Talladega. Probably my favorite because you get three races, and I watch F1 now, so I almost always have three races a weekend to watch anyway. But you have the ARCA race, which look, I love ARCA at Talladega and Daytona. That's just how it is. I will happily watch those guys, and we'll see how injured they get there because man, those guys are running some sketchy ass cars. But that's always fun, despite the fact it usually turns into a train. It never ends great. But at some point in the race, you'll see guys get dumb and stupid, and that's always entertaining. Check it, and I'm disappointed, man. This is going to be the first. I'm going to be the. This is going to be the first plate weekend that I don't do a super cut for, like where me and my friends are watching because I'm here. I'm not there. But this one, I always love the entertainment factor from ARCA. Then you got Xfinity as well. Yet again, starting late in the day. I don't think it's going to rain, but we'll see what happens. Let's see. I don't. I'm. Jordan, he was more so talking about who's like the rankings of DFS players. But that was that. How bad is it? And StreamYard is not wanting to take this off again. I do computer. Boy, we got to stop putting comments up for a second. Well, Matthew, it depends on how long we go green. If the race goes green, your guy's 8 laps down and they go in a green white checker, he's not gaining any positions. Xfinity, thank God Xfinity is short. I believe the stages are 30 and 40. Off the top of my head, don't quote me on that. So you'll depending on how piss poor the start is, you'll start having guys go lap. If stage 1 goes green, you'll start having guys get close to getting lapped around lap 20, 21, maybe a bit sooner than that. Very rarely you're going to have guys go 2 laps down in stage 1. And that's if they're by themselves. If the back marker cars stay in a pack, they're going to argue to being safe in stage 1. You'll just have some stragglers who get lapped. Now in stage 2, very rarely you get anybody get lapped because you have the stage caution at lap 30, and then NASCAR has the stage yellow for 7, 8 laps, and so you end up with a stage of like 22 laps or something, and nobody's going to go a lap down there. It just how many laps they go down in stage 3. That's the main one. What is this? I feel like you can make the argument that the guys who move up easily I'm assuming are the ones that. Yes, yeah, very much so. Um, are you number one on there, or are you just saying that? I don't know. I don't think I've ever really looked at that. I think I saw when I like first started like years ago, and I've never looked at it again. I'm not trying to get ranked or anything. Shit, I'm just trying to save enough money to go racing. That's all I'm trying to do right now. But yeah, and kind of same thing going. I always say this and stuff whenever people are like 1v1 me, do a head to head between them. Just play the big contest, man. Then you 1v1 every big tout out there, and you can see how everybody does in that. I wish the payouts were better though, man. I wish the payouts were better in these big contests. Let me see. Yeah, it's all. I assume it's all volume based on Roto Grinder stuff. Like, there's no fucking way I probably won't be in the top 30,000. Um, certainly during NFL season. Like NFL season, I'm playing like $200 a week. Probably a bit more than that. Probably like 300 a week. But I'll just get blown out of the water from guys entering $1,000 a week, getting one and a half return. Yeah, I gotta hop back on stacking dings at some point. You gotta come join me on the live shows this week. I would offer this week, but I don't think I have the internet connection to make the to make hosting both cameras and then broadcasting it. Since I'm out of town, I don't think I could actually do that this weekend. But we gotta totally do that. I know Pearce is getting swamped with MLB and USFL content, so he's not able to do the shows on Sunday now. Is it really only able to do that the first part? So we'll have to do that. Hey, look at you being ranked 88 for good old Junebug. See, like we start lagging here. I don't like that. I start lagging with the comments here. Here, let's do a live reaction. Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. This has. Let's see. Let's go to NASCAR. And where are these points at? Where are these points? Let me see real quick. We're really just assuming it's. Let me see. Let me see these rankings here. That's overall. We're really going downhill. I'm looking at the rankings for Roto Grinders. I want to see how low, if I can even find myself. Who's ranked? Actually, let me see. Oh yeah, I always forget BK is man. God, he enters a ton of money. Awesome was there by volume. Like, see, Bixby isn't even on there right now. He's not even in the top 50. I don't know what these are based on. Evil Surge is there on volume. That's not talking shit. I'm just saying. I'm wasting my time with that. Let me see. Yeah, I love doing live shows, man. I really like doing them with you. I have a lot, and especially for weeks like this, man, we are very much on the same page. Matthew, I don't know if you were here last year, but Jordan would join me on the live shows on Sundays. Eagles, I mean, I enter the same line, which is why I'm trying not to play the smaller contests today because I'm being more aggressive than I should on contests that are like I was gonna enter the 5 as well, but I think that's 1,188 people, and all my 20 lines are probably way too aggressive for that. But like all I would do in your case, Eagles, for that is just have 2 plays, just have 2 of see that I gotta see the starting grid again. Have 2 of Massey, Williams, Mills, Yaley, Curry, Lee, Galding, Starr, Gase. That's what I would look at in probably every line. And then with your other 4 guys, you can chase the chalk all you want. But that's what I would do. That's why I did watch the beginning of qualifying because that's the important part here for these cars. Like the Mike Carmen car, I can't find any information on that. I don't know where the motor's from. I don't know where the car is from. You can clearly see that it's all things considered, it's not struggling like it normally does. So that's clearly not their daily, not one of the 2 or 3 daily cars that they have. Golding was going to qualify this car at Daytona, didn't make the field. But I'm not too concerned about the Mike Harmon car here. And most of the time, the only time it did it when we look back at the Mike Harmon cars at the super speedways, the only times they did legitimate have issues is when the car was very, very basic. Like anytime they ran the Trump 2020 cars, anytime they ran any of really the blue cars, anything with any real sponsors on the Mike Harmon car never ran into an issue at super speedways because you're not being aggressive on the motor. You just hold the motor. I don't know what RPM they're running at. I don't know what the chip is at that they run, but you just shift through the gears and then you basically just hold the motor at the RPM that it rides at. Whether it be 7,500 or 8,200, whatever the situation is. It's not too rough on equipment, and so at least for my opinion, I'm not too worried about Greg Olding. And in terms of like where they qualify at a plate race, it doesn't matter. You just want the guys who don't wreck. That's why kind of going back to talking about who goes a lap down. That's more so what I try and at least imagine in my mind of who's going to be at the cusp of going a lap down or who just went a lap down when stage 1 ends. Because you can survive stage 2. Certainly if you pit in stage 1, I don't remember what the pit windows are for Xfinity. But depending on when you get a caution either late in stage 2, you can get the wave around, or if people decide to stay out for whatever reason to try and win the point is I'm not concerned about this. And yeah, I mean, I won't build the lines on stream, but well, even last year we would certainly chit chat and talk, and I had a lot of fun doing those live shows. And yeah, Steven, look, I try not to mention it because I mentioned it a ton to at least like when I was first starting to like get out there of like, why do you think you should listen to me? Blah blah blah. I worked on race cars for 5 years, 4 years in West Texas and Southern New Mexico, at El Paso Speedway Park, Southern New Mexico Speedway, Vado Speedway Park. I helped Jimmy Ray out. I helped Don Uli out. I was in and out of the garage, where I've done everything except basically race a car, and build a motor from absolute scratch, like by myself. I haven't done that. But everything else I've worked on. I used to groove tires all day. I used to I love doing body work and stuff. Anyway, So I've worked on A mods, B mods, X mods, street stocks. I did that for several years. Then I also operated, like when I got out of that, I worked at skid steer for a while. I was doing I was working at Desert Nurse Raid at trade shows in Chicago. I've had a very busy life. I never went to college out of high school. So as soon as high school ended, I was doing shit left and right. Um, but anyway, I want to race cars. I just want to go dirt track racing. As I said, I've done everything on the cars except racing. So I want to get a little Legends car and go have some fun and piss away money like that. So that's the story there. Very condensed story. We can go into details maybe tomorrow just to pass some time. But yeah, I just want to go buy a little legend car or just an old four banger and go to the racetrack by myself. That's what we're planning. We're not buying a ride. We're not paying people. I'm gonna do everything by myself. When I finish DFL, I'm still gonna be happy. That's why I don't shit on back markers a lot, man. You're good, Vesper. I do appreciate you being here. Same thing with you, Clutch. I know I'm trying to bump these a bit later, so people can catch them. But either way, so, um, the reason I mentioned Legends is because at least at like Votto, I grew up wanting to race a Legends car. Certainly, I'd probably buy a used one. I'm not going to buy a new one. I'm not going to put a brand new motor in them, but I can work on that, and I can tow that. Specifically, I have a truck, but I'm not looking to try and get a 35 2,400 pound race car uh, to tow around. If I can get something way lighter and not have to buy a trailer, like a full on car trailer for it, I would much rather do that. They don't race micro sprints out here, or if they do, the fucking classes are piss poor. And no offense, but I really don't want to buy a car that they're going to remove the class from next year because they only run like six guys. Like, and I don't have the money to race 305. I assume you're meaning sprint car, because like we don't have big block modifieds here. We don't have um, like I said, we don't have micro sprints. Um, Look, we're working on a budget to where the fucking fire suit, my helmet, my tear offs. Uh, I got a budget like in my brain of like, okay, bare bones entry. I need 12,000. Okay, buying a car, buying a hunk of shit car for 6 grand. I got to burn 1,200 on tires, and hell, I haven't even looked at fuel. Man, those barrels of race fuel probably have to be like 800, 900 now. Okay, so that's a good 7,000 down the tube, and I haven't even done anything to the car. Like we're running bare bone stuff. I can't afford to go get a real car right now. It's gonna be a while. Um, Favorite plays. Really everybody from 25th or 28th on back. That's my condensed one there. What do you mean? Like with sponsorships? Nobody's gonna sponsor me. No, the people who have sponsorships, like the guys who do it for a living own. Look, if you want to go racing, I wish somebody would have told me this when I was a tiny little boy. You want to go racing, you need to open up a business, either in construction or trucking or some manual labor business that brings in a lot of money. Those are the guys that go or ranch. Be a uh, own a ranch. Like the guys who go racing have money. That's how you go, man. If you're dirt poor, uh, which I like when I worked with Jimmy, he had a lot of money. It was a totally draft. It was a different entry into every weekend compared to when I helped Donovan out because Donovan was running on his own money. Man, it's huge. Um, yeah, you're good, man. That's just how it goes. Yeah, man. Maybe. Who knows? If anybody's out there, tell you what, you got a car you're willing to give me a ride for, I'll pay you for the ride. I will certainly uh, pay to play. I will certainly pay to ride. Like if somebody has everything set up, I would totally be down to buy a weekend somewhere. I would totally do that if anybody's out there. Clutch, I'm not concerned about any car back there. It's just, I mean, Galding can be up in the air. I believe the car is going to be fine. Um, I really like Gase Motorsports. They're going to ride in the back. They're going to be slow on speed, but they're going to ride in the back. I'm not really concerned about anybody because the slowest cars didn't make the field, so that is good. Um, I haven't seen qualifying, not looking at it yet. Um, so um, yeah, I'm not watching qualifying right now. I'll get back there and see. Let's see. Oh, you just said before bare bone 12. That's not hard to raise. I mean, you can, but uh, that's not realistic to me. I don't have the friends that are going to give you that money. And I know people with that money, and they're not going to give you that money to just, hey, put this button. Like, that's not going to happen. I'm not cool enough. I'm certainly not marketable at all. It's a miracle my channel hasn't been shut down. I'm actively expecting my channel to just absolutely get nuked off YouTube anytime I do a rant video. Yeah, I mean, I would run micros if they were here. They're, I can work on them. That's another huge thing that people don't think about is me. I can one person. I can work on that. I can work on a Legends car. I can work on a micro sprint. You know, sure. I need clearly. I'll need the tools, the jacks, and everything, which I can get that on cheap. I'm not worried about all that type of stuff. But when we look at the ease, like if I have a what were they? What was the modified? So if the modified weighed 24.9, I mean that's a bitch to work on by yourself. That is rough. I would like something I can work on by myself. You know, in uh, let's see. Yeah, I was thinking that, but man, I want seat time. I mean, we're way off track here. That's why I'm saying, look, I'm saving up. My goal is to get in a car at like age 29. Okay, I'm 23 right now. I turned 24 in May. I would like to hit the track at some point in my late 20s, early 30s. I think we can get there. Um, but I'm green as grass, man, when it comes to that type of stuff. Let me see. Yeah, yeah. Them fucking claimer cars are expensive too, man. It depends on where you go. I'm probably too far away from the mic. Like if you go from scratch, you're in the car like a lot of money, man. You go buy a car from a junkyard or like an old Crown Vic or something, and if you're turning that into a race car, you got to take out the glass, you got to take out the interior, you got to reinforce the sides, you got to put a roll cage in it, you got to put the seat in it, so you got to buy all that. I'm not saying that's not wrong. I'm not saying like you specifically, but a lot of people don't even realize that. Like to to start the bomber from scratch, that's at least $4,000 or $5,000. So typically, that's why you just see claimers and bombers recycled because it's just easier to buy one that's already made, or it's an old street stock that was built in the 90s or something, and now they use it as a claimer. I mean, that stuff's still fucking stupid expensive, man. I don't have the money, man. I don't have the money right now to have, you know, like I break a lower control arm and then, enter in a corner. And so I tear up the right, say if I enter a corner and say if you race on a track with walls, I break a control arm or a spindle or something entering turn one. So I not only break the right front, I hit the wall, I tear the shit out of the right side of the car. I mean, we're thousands of dollars in damages just on like night one. Like I do not have the money to support repairing anything, much less buying anything right now. Yeah, what a yet again, man. I thank God I'm such an asshole. I called all that earlier when Awuji and people were like, "Well, that's rude. Let's see what he does." I was like, "Dude, I knew clear as day Awuji ain't made for this stuff. He don't have the skill." After I just went on a tangent of being like, "Oh, I don't have track. I don't know how good I am or whatever." But look, Awuji is clearly showing he's out of his league. If he would just, if I think Awuji would honestly have a great fucking time running Arca or the K and N or actually not K, the Arca West or Arca East series. Like you don't have to chase NASCAR, man. You could have such a great. Imagine like if you're yeah, Jesse Iwuji, man, go race at your local track. You'd have such a more enjoyable time. Whereas now you got Emmett Smith mad at you, you got the fans making fun of you, you got sponsors mad at you for not making races. Like, oof. Yeah, that'd be great. I would like that. That'd be fun. And then also, now that you mentioned Nebraska, because I live in Lubbock. Currently not there now, but and when I grew up in El Paso, the racing that they had there was with guys who like everybody, El Paso, Las Cruces, that whole area, like a lot of the guys who race there have a lot of money and they race clean. Like these guys don't want to tear shit up week in and week out, weekend in, weekend out, whatever the case is. You didn't, you, it was very rare to see like wreck fests. Very rare to see cars like torn up. Guys would race clean. Like if you watch USMTS, a lot of those guys came from that area and they race extremely clean. Like they don't tear stuff up. I moved to Lubbock. West Texas Raceway is one of the trashiest racetracks I've ever seen. And they tear shit up every weekend in every class. That's also another thing is I do not want to go racing at a track in an area that these guys just destroy their cars each week. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting into that. Like there's no way I'm blowing my dream out racing at a trashy track where guys just destroy stuff week in and week out. Um, yeah, I mean it's so expensive, man. It's so expensive. So we'll get there in time, you know. We'll get there in time. Let's see. Mm, yeah, and I remember uh there is a there's a family that had quite a bit of money and they had, their kid wanted to get into racing. I think it was like 12 or 13 or something. And so this dad, because he had a lot of money, he basically built like a brand new like claimer for his kid. And I remember the first night out there, kid didn't do anything wrong, but on like the third or second lap coming out of four, guy got loose on his outside, came down the track, clipped the kid's right rear, and put him head on into the wall and killed the whole front end of the car. I mean, the chassis was lost night one of something they worked months on, you know? I've seen cars that I've worked on flip over and get destroyed. It's, I mean, man, it's crazy how much money is lost in there. Sheet metal too, man. I got out. I stopped working right when the price of sheet metal started to really skyrocket. That's like that's something people don't think about either. I'm not saying I want clean signs each week. I'm going to replace them every time. But that stuff gets expensive too. These are expensive. I I know, man, it's all these people. I mean, I don't think it's really rigged, but it's rigged. Come on. I'm telling you, man, there's no way that's why like man, bet Earnhardt to win stages, bet him to win the race. Fuck it. Might as well lean into it. Um yeah. Ooh, they did not Okay, Clutch. This is one thing that I do like on Prize Picks for speedways is I want to see if it changed before I start talking stuff. Let's see. I don't use talking about Prize Picks. I don't have anything on Prize Picks, but the ones I like are the fast laps. 4.5 fast laps for Hemrick and AJ. If anything, that would probably be the prop. Those fast laps that low, I would probably chase over Earnhardt leading a certain amount of laps or even fantasy scores and stuff. Like I like chasing. I would imagine chasing the fast laps because there's not an edge or anything there. Like there's no. I don't think there's one way to lean. It's just fast laps given out random. Like week in and week out when it's the leader, yeah, you can kind of project where guys are going to be at. But either Hemrick or AJ to get 5 fast laps in this race, I think anybody can do that. And so that's where I would go. Yeah, it costs money to have fun. That's really life, man. Yeah. That's what we're doing all this for. Hey, hi. I'll probably call you when I finish this. Actually, I'm probably gonna end it there. Um, so yeah, thank you guys for showing up, and I will. What is it? I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. We'll see you then.